Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to the day 5 of this Python Bootcamp. And this will be the last day of this Python Bootcamp. So, how are you guys? I want responses in the chat box. And you will be having a quiz today. Yes, I can see few responses. Yes, Ruchita, I'm great. Well, before moving to the day 5, let us have a recap on day 4. So, what are the concepts in day 4? So, what are the 4 principles of OOPS? Inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, and polymorphism, right? So, what is inheritance? Inheritance is nothing but inheriting the properties and attributes or behavior from the parent class. So, who is the one that will actually inherit? That will be child class, right? So, that is inheritance. And how to achieve inheritance? Just by writing the base class name by the side of derived class in brackets, right? And coming to the next thing, that is polymorphism. So, what is polymorphism? What is polymorphism? Yes, Srinivas, it is many forms. So, coming to the example, just observe the syntax so that you can actually code by yourself. How to achieve polymorphism? With the concepts of overloading and overriding, right? So, what is overloading? It will be having same name and different signature, right? What is overriding? It is same name and same signature. Coming to the encapsulation. So, what is encapsulation? It will just restrict the access. So, how to restrict the access? By just making them private, making the attributes as private or protected, right? So, what are private and protected? They are the access modifiers or access specifiers. So, how to achieve encapsulation? By making the attributes private. And how do you access them outside the class? How do you access the private members outside the class? Is by creating a public function and a public variable. So that without disturbing this private variable, we can actually access them, right? Coming to the last thing, that is abstraction. What is abstraction? It will hide all the complex features or complex implementation and it will show only the important features. How to achieve abstraction? By using abstract classes, right? So look at the example for abstract classes. What is the syntax for abstract method? That is @abstract method, and you will be writing the method. If you don't want to write anything in the method, you will just write pass statement. And you have to create abstract classes in which you have to again create abstract methods, right? And what is super function? So super function is the thing, it is a function which is used to inherit all the properties and characters from parent class, right? That is super function. I hope you are clear with the OOPS concept. If there are no doubts, I'll continue to day 5. Yes, so welcome to the day 5 of this Python bootcamp. So today we only have this exceptions concept. So coming to this, what is an exception? So exception is an event. So like for example, If you think there's something error which is happening in the code, if you just think of that, then you have to stop that. So in order to do that, we'll be using exception. So for example, it is an event. This occurs during the execution of the program, and this will actually disrupt the normal flow of the entire program. So we have to handle the exception in order to avoid this disruption. I hope you're clear. So what is an exception? It is an event and that will occur during the execution of a program. It will not stop the execution, but it will just disrupts. It will just disturb the entire execution. I mean, it will just disturb the flow of the execution. It will not terminate or stop the entire program. So this is nothing but exception. So we have to handle it in order to avoid this disruption. So how to handle this exception is by using try and except statements. So what is try and except statements? So what is try? Statements that can raise exceptions are generally kept inside this try block. So what do we write in this try block? The statements that can raise exceptions. So the code which is actually raising exception. So if you feel that this code will raise some exception further or in future, you will be writing this entire code in try block. So that is nothing but try block. And coming to the next thing, that is except block. So the statements that actually they can handle and they'll deal with this particular exception are kept inside except block. I hope you're clear with what is try and except. The statements that can raise the exception are kept in try block. The statements that can handle the exception are kept in except block. Yes. Apart from this try and except, we also have finally and else block. So what is else block? Else block is nothing but, see, if there is no exception that is causing in try block, then the point of execution will be moving to else block. So if try clause is not raising an exception, then the execution moves to else block. So that is the meaning. And coming to the last thing, that is finally. So finally, it is a keyword that will, that will always get executed after both this try and except blocks. So it will not worry about the either the exception is raising or not. It will always be executed. That is nothing but finally block. I hope you're clear with try, except, else, and finally. So after this exception concept, so we must be in a situation that we have to handle the errors that are generated somehow in our entire code. So we will be having many errors like zero division error, index error, key error, or we have like a name error, syntax error, and type error. Like, see, why zero division error is occurring, because this exception is raised because when an attempt is made to divide a number by zero. What is anything by zero? What is anything by zero? When I'm trying to divide anything, some number by zero, what will be my answer? Yes, that's undefined, right? So this will be an exception. So that is zero division error. And coming to the next thing, we have index error. Like, for example, when an index is out of range, like if you are writing this list or tuple or something, then you'll be having indexes, right? So when an index is out of range, like if we have only two elements and we are trying to access the third element, then we'll be getting this index error. And we have key error. So if you remember the dictionary concept, it will be there in key value form, right? So when the key is not found in that particular dictionary, then we'll be raising that like there is a key error. So these are some of the errors. Like we also have value error. So what is value? Value error is when a function is called with an invalid argument. Argument is nothing but input, right? So if you are trying to give invalid value or invalid input or invalid argument, then it will be happening like it will be will be happening with value error. So I hope you're clear with all the errors. Let me show you an example. So this is the example where I'm writing about zero division error and value error. If you want, you can add more. So what is the code here which is there in try block? That is the code which I am thinking that like some exception will be happening there. There's something disruption is happening there. So that's why I've kept that code in try block. And what is except? The statements which can handle the exception, right? What is else block? If there is no exception raised in try block, then we'll be using like the point of execution moves to else block. What is finally block? That will always get executed. I hope you're clear with all these. So what is an exception? It is an event. I hope you're clear with this entire concept. Like try, except, and all. So what is an exception? It is an event that occurs only during execution of the program. That will not stop the entire program, but that will just disrupt the normal flow of the program, right? So in order to avoid that, what should we do? We have to handle the exception by using try except blocks, right? I hope you're clear with this concept. So one more thing here is Team Code Sprint have been collaborated with this VJIT college's new startup. So let me show you that. So that is Zacopin, and it is introducing LID. This concept is Learn, Innovation and Development, which is bridging the student career path with great opportunities. And if you want the detailed notes, all the cheat sheets or interview questions, so do like, share and subscribe to Code Sprint. And you can also grab the bucket. I'm sorry, the bundle. We have launched a exclusive bundle. So I hope that link is there in the description of the video. With that, you can actually master with Python. And you'll be having a quiz today. So just be active. Let me just write a code for you so that you will understand all these. Let me write try. So I want to, yeah, I'll be showing you zero division error. So when will zero division error happen actually? When I'm trying to divide anything by zero, right? What is zero by anything? What is zero by anything? What is the value of zero by anything? Yes, zero by anything is zero, right? And anything by zero will be undefined. So let me show that. So in order to do division, I want two numbers, right? That is numerator and denominator. So numerator. And how to take this input in Python? Input function, right? And I'm trying with integers. So let me add an int before. So input. You can actually leave it like this and you can go to denominator part. So input function. But we'll be writing this so that we can actually understand what to print. So enter a numerator value. You can just leave it without writing anything. This is just for, just to increase the readability of this code. Enter a denominator. Yeah, this will be my input, right? And I'll be taking another thing that is result to store this entire result. So what is the thing? Numerator by denominator. So this is the code. This is the code. I'm thinking that something exception is gonna happen here. That's why I've kept this in try block. Now how to handle this? Yeah, I have to write this zero division error. Zero division error. And let me print something like here is a error. So like we cannot divide anything by zero. So coming to the next thing. So I'll just write else block and I want to print the result. Now let me run this code. So I'm trying with 10 and my denominator will be 5 and my output is. So until here there's no problem, right? Now when you're trying to do, let me run it again. Now I'm taking 10 and let me take 0. So now the exception is raised here. So error cannot divide anything by 0. I hope you're clear. And here itself you can add, like there's a concept of multiple exceptions. So accept value error. Example, let me print something like invalid input and let me try it again. Let me run it. Now I'm giving 10 again and I'm trying to give a reminder. I'm trying to give the denominator as string. That will be the string data type, right? But I have actually given, like while reading itself, I have given that it is int data type. So observe the output. So it is invalid input. So when you're giving 0, the point of execution will come to except 0 division error block. And when you're giving this particular string, that is which is different data type, then the point of execution will move to value error, right? So that is how you can observe, that is how you will be doing this all try, except and else. And look at finally, you will just add like this and you will just print what you want. So let me take 8, 4. So this will always get printed no matter what. It will not bother about whether the exception is actually raising or not. I hope you are clear with this concept of exceptions. So what is an exception and what are the errors there and how to write this try except. So this is the try block. So if you observe the output here, if you observe the code here, you have x is equal to 1 by 0. So the exception here will be 0 division error, right? So you have to print, you can't divide it by 0. And coming to handling multiple exceptions. So you can handle multiple exception in a single except block or use multiple except blocks. Here in this code, I've used multiple except blocks, right? Here. So without using this both, I can just do this. Except, I'll just write 0 division error. And I'll also write value error. I hope you're clear. Yeah. I have to enclose them within parentheses. And indentation is very important in Python. That's it, and you'll just print something like both 0 and value errors are occurring here. I hope you're clear. And coming to the finally block, it contains code that will be executed regardless of whether an exception is raised or not. So if you see this code, the same code, I'm just adding the finally block here. So print, this is the finally block. I hope you're clear. And yeah, so these all are the default exceptions which are there in Python, right? So apart from this, if you want to raise your own exception, so you can also do that by using raise keyword. So you can raise your own exceptions with the it's a statement with the raise statement. This is typically done to signal that an error has occurred. This is just like giving a single signal that an error has occurred. So let me show you. Writing if x less than 0. Then I'll just write raise and I'll write whatever error I want. So 0 division error, or I'll write my value error. It's of Arlish. So value error, that's it. So I hope you're clear with this. So as time permits, let me introduce another concept. So So tell me if there are any doubts. Is my screen blur? Anuradha. So not only about day 5, just post the doubts even if they are in day 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So if there are no doubts, I'll just move to the new another concept. Loops Vaishnavi. Okay, fine. Loops, I hope they are there in day 3, right? No, day 2, I think. Mm, yes, day 2. So yeah, coming to loops. Yeah, loops are nothing but these are sub concepts in iterative statements. So we have for loop, while loop, and nested loop, right? So for loop is nothing but like we if you want to print all the values like without creating a new variable for all the values, you will just take a single variable and you will just iterate through all the values in order to print them or in order to do some calculation. So that is for loop. So if you see the syntax for fruit, fruit is nothing but the iterator. Like we'll be writing I, right? For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus and so on. So fruit here will be like iterator and it will act as I. So fruit in fruits. And so how the actual how the actual working is happening here is fruits is apple, banana and cherry, right? So fruit and fruits, which means I mean this entire point of execution will move inside this for loop. So print fruit. So first thing that is apple. Again the execution will be going out. Again that is banana, cherry and so on. So that is for loop. Coming to while loop, so this will be iterating until this particular condition is false. So for while loop, just look at this example. So I want to print the numbers from 1 to 5. So I'll just start with the number. I mean, I'll just assign my value to this count. I'll just assign 1 so that I can increment. So first I'll be printing count. So yeah, my condition will be count less than or equal to 5. So if this condition is true, the execution will be moving inside this while loop and it will print count to 1, that is 1. And now I have to increment count in order to move to the next thing, right? So I'll just increment the count by 1. So count plus is equal to 1 is nothing but count is equal to count plus 1. So 1 plus 1, that will be 2. Again, I'll be going out. I'll be checking for the condition. If 2 is less than or equal to 5. Yeah, that's true. So I'll be moving inside. I'll be printing that. Again, I'll increment 3. If 3 is less than or equal to 5, I'll print 3. Again, back. Again, I'll increment 4. If 4 is less than or equal to 5, I'll print 4. Again, 5. 5 is less than or equal to 5. That's true. I'll print 5. So again, it will increment 6. 6 is less than or equal to 5. It's false. Hence, I'll just come out of the entire loop. That is while loop. So coming to nested loop, loop within another loop. So in order to do some calculations like matrix multiplication or print multiplication tables, you will be using like one loop will not be sufficient. So like we'll be having row value and column value, right? So one loop will not be sufficient. So we'll just put some inner loop in this outer loop. So for I in range of 3, for j in range of 3, and you'll just print them. Print I comma j or I into j. It's up to you. I hope you're clear with this, all the loops for while and nested. Vaishnavi, Vinay, you're not getting the logic. You'll have the quiz at 7:50, and subscribing to Code Sprint is mandatory not to receive your certification. Behind what code? Just post the code in the chat box so that I can explain your code. So coming to this new concept, that is Python math. So I hope everyone of you know about this math. So you will be importing it, right, in order to do some calculations. So for example, let me show you. So if I want to find the minimum, find minimum of some three numbers, I'll just write, I'll just use min function. Here I'm not going to import because this is default. So I mean, this is not, this minimum function, it's not there in math module, so it's not required to import 5, 10, 25, and so on. And I'll be taking another for max, it's also a function, so be writing 4 to 80 and 35, it's up to you. So next I'll just print both of them, x and then print y. So these are the these are the functions, that is min and max. So coming to another thing, we have abs, that is absolute. So what is abs is, it will return absolute positive value. Positive value. So x is equal to abs of, let me take some negative number and I'll try with this, minus 7.5. Sorry, let me print it. Print x. So abs is for, is to return absolute positive number. And next, let me take power function. So let me write x is equal to, yeah, let me write power function first. So x is equal to power of 4 comma 3, and I'll just print x. So what will be the output? I want the answer in chat box. What will be the output? 4 power 3. Yes, that's true. So So coming to import math, you have to actually import this math here for some functions. So because these functions are there in this math module, so import math. For example, let me take x is equal to math dot. So this will be the syntax sqrt of 64. I want to print x. What will be the output? Guess the output. sqrt is nothing but square root function, and this is there in math module. I want the answers in the chat box. Satvik, Sirisha, Ismail and Vinay. Yes. Pujita. So coming to the next thing, let me take seal function. So if you know what is seal, seal is nothing but it will just round the value to the topmost value, right? Like the number which is there on topmost of that. For example, let me take 1.4. What will be the seal value for this? Tell me the output for this. Math.seal of 1.4. I did not ask the floor value. I'm asking about seal. Seal is nothing but it will be giving. I mean, it will be rounding that number to the topmost number. Floor instance, you will be getting one. Don't get confused here. Try to look at the example. I have written 1.4, and what will be the seal value of this? What is the topmost value after 1? Yes, Nandita, you're right. That's 2. If it's floor, if I'm replacing here with floor, you will be getting 1. So that's about math. And another function in math is we have pi. So import math and let me write x is equal to math dot pi and let me print x. What will be the value? What is pi value? Yes, Shruti, you're right. So I hope you're clear with this math concept. So for some functions, it's not required to import math, but for some functions like seal, floor, sqrt, and pi, you have to do that. Import math, and then you'll be writing the entire code. So I hope you're clear with this entire day 5 concept. So let me have a recap on this entire day 5 concept because this will be the last day and I couldn't give again. So just have a glance. So what is an exception? It is just an event that will be happening during the execution of this program, right? That will disrupt the normal flow of the program's execution. It will not stop or it will not terminate the entire execution. It will just disturb the flow of the execution. So we have to handle the exception in order to avoid the disruption, right? Coming to how to handle this particular exceptions, we'll be using try and except statements, right? So what is try? Statements that can actually raise the exceptions are generally kept inside the try block, right? And coming to except, statements that can handle and deal with the exception are actually kept inside except block. So don't get confused here. Try, statements that can raise exception, and this code is kept under try block. And except, statements that can handle or deal with that particular exception are kept inside except block. So we must be in a situation that we have to handle the errors that are generated somehow in our code. So what are the errors? Give me some example of errors. What are the errors that I have discussed? If you remember. Yes, value error. Go on. Not only value error, I have told around 5, right? Pawan, don't worry about your attendance. You'll be getting your attendance link where you'll be having quiz. Yes, zero division error, value error. Go on. I've told you around 5, right? Yes, index error. Yes, name error. Value error, syntax error. Go on. You have covered 4. Yeah, type error, index error, zero division, runtime value, name. Yes, that's great, Ruchita. So, what is the meaning of zero division error? What is the meaning of zero division error? Yes, exactly. Any number, like when we are trying to divide any number by zero, right? Yes, you can't divide it by zero. And what is index error? What is index error? You'll be having your quiz at 7:50. Until then, just try to clear all your doubts. And we'll be getting, we'll be discussing about more boot camps, and type the domains like which you are interested, so that we'll note the points and we'll just try to conduct boot camps on those topics. If you have any ideas, you can just post the ideas. But this is something like Google answer. So if you have any doubts regarding the other concepts, or other domains. Yes, exactly. Like in order to receive your certification, you have to get at least 40% in the quiz. And the quiz is too easy if you listen all the classes of this entire boot camp. Yes. When I will be using ChatGPT or Google Lens, right? You should get at least 40%. After this boot camp, you will get your certification to your registered mail ID. Don't worry about your certification. You will receive your certificate, provided that you have to subscribe to Code Sprint and you have to get at least 40% in race quiz. You have to fill the attendance form. Java. Okay. So you don't have doubts regarding any other domains. So you're clear about all the domains, right? Okay. C language, HTML. Go on. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So that is front end completely. Data structures, nice. Web technologies, XML, C++, Java and JavaScript. You'll be getting score like after writing the quiz, you'll be getting your score. Like you'll be getting points out of 10. You'll be having 10 questions, and it's not like the previous quiz which I've written. Today, your quiz will be there in your attendance form itself, and you'll be getting your score after you click on submit button. You'll be getting view your score button, so that you can view your score. How to develop a website. Nice. All domains bootcamp. Software updation. Full stack development. Software updation. Nice, nice. AI. App development. Great. Android development. Data science. Operating systems. So based on majority, we'll be noting all the points and we'll try to introduce new boot camps further. I hope you enjoyed a lot in this particular Python boot camp. And and this entire boot camp is brought to you by the collaboration of CodeSprint and VJIT College's new startup, that is Jacobin, and it is introducing LID concept, that is Learn, Innovation and Development. So bridging the student career path with great opportunities. So Jacobin, which means it actually bags on internet and it represents a centralized platform offering various sources like knowledge, solutions, and growth opportunities. So here the bag represent LID, that is learn, innovate, and develop. So for every dedicated student and career. And if you want the detailed notes, so if you want to master in Python, so if you want the detailed notes, all the cheat sheets, the interview questions, and all, you can actually grab your bundle. We have launched an exclusive bundle where you can find all the interview questions and the detailed notes. Apart from this PDF, apart from this concepts, you'll be getting all the cheat sheets, questions, etc. So try to grab the bundle and do like, share, and subscribe to Code Sprint. Ethical hacking, nice. Bootcamp on SQL. So front end is over and you are moving to back end, huh? SQL, cloud computing. So when I want to join Code Sprint team, huh? Thank you, Ismail. Thank you, Nandini. Yes, we are noting all the points, Srinivas. We are noting and we'll try to conduct all the boot camps. DBMS, nice. And one more thing which is of your advantages, all the boot camps will be free. You have to just apply for it and join the communities, right? You have to just subscribe. That's it. Kaushik, I'll miss you too. Thank you for listening my classes with patience. I hope Ismail. So you did not join day one and day two of this boot camp, huh? This is Vishnu Priya. Let me post the attendance link so that you will be doing your quiz, right? Just a minute. I hope this is working. So that will be your day 5 attendance along with your quiz. And don't forget that you have to at least score 40% in your quiz in order to receive your certification. And provided that you have to subscribe to Code Sprint. Okay, then you can actually try with another email. PDF will be shared through the WhatsApp groups. I hope you're doing your quiz. Do your quiz and post your scores in the chat box. Do the quiz and post your scores in the chat box. And if there are no doubts, I'll just wind up the session for today. Yes, we are actually planning the entire course. We'll update you through WhatsApp. So do join all the communities which are there. I mean, whose links are there in the description box, so that you'll get updated about the future boot camps. The message was actually pinned, right? Nandita Reddy. You'll be having your quiz in your attendance form itself. Just press the next button and post the scores here. Yes, try to grab that bundle. So this will be the exclusive bundle which we have prepared, where you'll be having all the interview questions and all the concepts in Python, so that you can master in Python. So grab it. No one, I hope no one is, I mean, why no one is posting the answers? I mean, the scores. So actually, this bundle is worth rupees 499, but we are offering it to you at a massive discount of rupees just 99. So you can get all of them: Python interview questions, practice problems, cheat sheets, detailed notes. So you can unlock your full Python potential with our comprehensive Python programming bundle. So this is the new bundle which we have launched, so that you can actually, yeah, you can master in Python. I hope the link is shared with you. Yes, it's there in the chat box. Complete the quiz, get your attendance, and get your certification. Provided that 40% is a mandatory, and subscribing to Code Sprint is also mandatory. And I'm done from my side. If there are any doubts which were not cleared in the session, just reach out to me on LinkedIn. So this will be my profile URL. Let me share it in the chat box. So which were not cleared in the session, you can actually reach out to me only for doubts. And do like, share, and subscribe to Code Sprint, so that you will not miss the boot camps like this. So you can get the knowledge for free here. So just do like, share, and subscribe, and join all the communities if possible, so that you can be updated with all the boot camps. We have noted all your points and we'll try to conduct boot camps with those domains which I have mentioned. I hope everyone have completed your quiz. So what are your scores? Everyone are busy in doing the quiz, huh? Okay, fine. You have to scan the question and you have to see the answer and you have to mark the answer and you have to complete each question like that, right? Jayant Kumar, have you completed your quiz? Just post your score in the chat box. Complete your quiz and come to the chat box. I'll be here itself. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, everyone are busy with chat GPT, right? Google Lens, chat GPT, Google, etc. Yes, Ahmed, what is your doubt? Car one dot brand. Quiz link again. Okay, so this is the link, right? Shreya Reddy, nice. 8 on 10. Okay, you're having the doubt with eighth question of the quiz, huh? If you have that doubt, try to post the code in the chat box. I'll explain you with that. 7 out of 10. Ruchita, it's great. Ahmed, try to post the code so that I can help with you. 1 out of 10, 7. So there's no one who is getting 10 on 10, huh? Haripriya, 9 on 10. That's great. Sunil, 5. Deepthi, 8. That's great. So if there are no doubts, I'll just wind up the session. Vaishnavi, 9 on 10. That's great. Which question? How do you iterate over both the index and value of a list for using a loop? What's that name? Millie Blink. How do you, which question is that? Have you completed your quiz? Okay, if you have completed, you can actually leave. That's by using enumerate. That's the hint, and you try the code. And that's all for this entire boot camp. So thank you for joining and subscribing. So thank you and good night, guys. Oh God.